Hey, and welcome everybody. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. I want to welcome all the broadcasts. Hope everybody's doing well today. I'm feeling a little under the weather today, guys, so I'm going to give it my best shot. So stick around, folks. We're going to try to do as best we can today. Today, we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about New York City. We're going to talk about some New York City, what's going on in New York City, because I really feel like the people in New York City, they've had enough of Zohran Mamdani. We're going to talk a little bit about this. We're also going to talk a little bit about what happened this weekend, because the president actually had a great race, the Grand Prix, the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. We're going to talk a little bit about this. And if we get enough time, we're going to talk about this guy, Abdullah Rahman El Sayed. He stuck his foot in it again, folks. We found an old post of his that I think he's probably going to wish he had never said before. Okay. So anyways, we'll be back in just a second, folks. We'll talk to you a little bit. And when we get back, folks, we're going to talk a lot more about what's going on with these crazy leftists out there. Okay. This is Sherman Ray. This is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. We'll be right back. All right, folks. Hey, this is Sherman Ray, and this is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Thank you all for being a part of the broadcast, folks. Looked like I was a little bright there, you guys. I can see it right now. I've got something on my face. Every once in a while, I get to look up, and I can see myself on this monitor here, folks. And I say to myself, boy, this guy is just, I don't know. Thinking, why did my wife marry me? No. Anyways, happy Monday, guys. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Welcome to the broadcast, folks. And today we've got a fun-packed show. Hope you all had a great weekend. Got to see some football, because I know I did. That's the American pastime, guys. That's what we do, and we watch it at the Ray household here. And we were really busy online. There was a lot of people out online who had all kinds of stuff to say. I mean, sometimes you think to yourself, my gosh, you guys need to take a break here once in a while. But there were a lot of people online, and they were talking, and I think I got a cold. So you'll just have to really you have to bear with me. Before we get going too far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because some of you are watching us for maybe the first time. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. And the more you subscribe, folks, the more you know. That should be our saying. The more you subscribe, the more you know. We're also on Facebook, on True Social, Spotify, Rumble, X. We're on X all the time, and you can check us out on Spotify. So Spotify, if you want any of any of these audio clips of this thing, go to Spotify, because we are on Spotify, folks, and you can check us out there, just the audio portion. So let's talk about what happened this weekend. This weekend, the president hosted another spectacle on the White House grounds, and this one was the Freedom 250 Grand Prix, and it was just amazing. I mean, it literally was. How many of you got to see it? Some of you got to see that. I know it was really wonderful, and so enjoyed it immensely. My guy didn't win. That's all right. You know, it was just wonderful to see a race like this. Now, I'm an F1 guy, which means Formula One. I tend to watch Formula One as opposed to Indy cars. But I can't watch Formula One cars because it's not on enough. So I watch a lot of Indy car racing. Always fun. Alex Palau. If anything could have gone wrong, it did to him during this weekend. And he just had a problem here, had a problem there. He had to start at the back. He had moved forward. He wrecked. It was terrible. It was just simply terrible. But I posted about the race online, because I post everything online, And I thought, boy, people really need to enjoy this because it's kind of fun. It's very rare that you get to see anything like this. And I thought, man, this would be cool. And so one guy said, well, I like F1 better. I go, okay, well, that's wonderful. Okay, so you figure you're going to get stuff like that. But then I got the most, I don't know, peculiar posts. And what they were saying was they were basically saying, oh, I'm going to go to my website. I'll go to my Facebook page right now and look at it, folks. And if you are, excuse me, on our YouTube channel, I did see that you guys have actually been posting stuff there, and thank you so much for posting on our YouTube channel. I will get back to those comments, and let me see if I can find this here, guys. So what I'm looking for are the posts. Oh my gosh, we are over 8,000 followers on our YouTube channel, or on our Facebook page, guys. 8,000. I don't look at this a lot, guys, because it just freaks me out. Every time I look up, it seems like a couple hundred here, a couple hundred there. We were at 6,000, I think, last week, beginning of the week. And literally, we're at 8,000 now. Thank you so much, folks. I'm flabbergasted. I really am. I'm just, wow. Don't stop. Just keep going. So I posted about the race, and so let me tell you what people said on here. Where's it at? Okay, so that wasn't the one. Okay, I'm so glad. I'm so glad it wasn't on our YouTube, on our Facebook page. It was on another platform that people started saying things like, I hate that Trump, and he's doing all this, and he's doing all with our taxpayer money. And I said, wow, you people just don't ever quit, do you? You just don't ever think that to have fun every once in a while, have fun. And then I started thinking to myself, these people are the same people that were they were curiously quiet when Elon Musk turned up all of this waste, fraud, and abuse. You remember Doge? Many of you remember Doge. And these same people were the same people that had no problem with all this waste, fraud, and abuse that Doge uncovered. Remember USAID? Literally almost like $1 billion. And nobody said, oh, that's just terrible. I just can't believe all. No, but there was crickets. Or when Nick Shirley, excuse me, Nick Shirley uncovered all this waste, fraud, and abuse. You remember the Leering Center in, I think it was in Wisconsin or Minnesota or something like that. And as he's going to California, all this other, Medicaid and Medicare and everything else, I didn't hear anybody upset about it. As a matter of fact, I saw a lot more people upset that Nick Shirley was uncovering all of this waste, fraud, and abuse. And now all of a sudden, the president spends a couple of bucks on, I shouldn't say that. The taxpayers were on the hook for this event. 80 million bucks, guys. Yeah, 80 million bucks. Oh, before you get upset, okay, because I know some of you are just going to go freaking out about this. I want you to hear the whole thing. President Trump never does anything where we're having to pay for stuff, guys. It's because he's a capitalist. The direct dollar amount, and I wrote this down, folks. I wrote this down. The direct dollar amount that the jurisdiction of Washington, D.C. Felt as a result of the 3 days that they were here for the Indianapolis car race, the Freedom 250 Grand Prix, $100 to $200 million. $100 to $200 million, guys. So you spend $85 million, you bring in $200 million. I say that's over. It's almost, what is that, 200%? That's a 200% return on your money, because 100% came back, okay, and then you made another 100% on top of that. So it's about 200%. Something like that. Don't quote me on that. Okay, you get the idea though. Okay, capitalism won again, and and so people are just jumping up and down. They've got their, they're little clutching their pearls that the president spent all this money. But how curious it is that every time the president does something, they have a problem with Trump. Is what they have a problem with. Okay, he did the beautification of the statues and the fountains, okay? Oh, people are pissed off. Oh, how could they make Washington, D.C. beautiful? Remember, he renewed the reflecting pool? Oh, I can't believe it. It used to look like crap, and now it looks beautiful. And as a matter of fact, they did everything they could to try to screw it up. The ballroom, of course, the ballroom project, of course, they would rather have us, pay hosted dignitaries on the White House lawn, I guess, with maybe some, pigs in a blanket or something like that. Or the renovation of the Kennedy Center. I just think, guys, that the problem with all these Democrats is pretty obvious, okay? They have Trump derangement syndrome. And even if the president came up with a cure for cancer, they would have a problem with it. They would go, oh, wait a minute, he's racist because it's only for the rich white people. Right? That's exactly what they would say. It's for the rich white people. You're disingenuous. You folks, even because we posted the whole thing with the amount of money that was the return on this too. Crickets. Okay, they don't care. They go, oh, it's just a puffing up his ego and everything else. Okay, guys, guess what? The president likes sports. He brought the UFC. Everybody's upset about that. Once again, just a money maker for Washington, D.C. Right now, Washington, D.C. is pretty dead. Okay? It wasn't over the weekend, guys. They had the Great American State Fair. I bet you nobody, that wasn't even covered by the mainstream media. Why? Because the president did it. It's Trump derangement syndrome. So I go back to this, guys. I would hate to be these leftists, their families, at a family reunion when they show up at the door. Because they've got to be the worst people on the earth to be at a family reunion. Bah, humbug. Bah, humbug is what they'd probably say. Anyways, we'll be back in just a second, folks. When we do, folks, we will talk a little bit about what's going on in New York City, guys. You're going to want to see this. Zohran Mamdani is at it again. Zohran the Destroyer is at it again. I'll be right back, folks. Well, thank you, folks, once again for being a part of the broadcast. This is Sherman Ray, and I'm the Nevada Conservative. Thank you so much. One guy, I mentioned this like last week, is one guy said, you're not even a real person. You're not a real black man. You're probably an AI-generated thing. And I said, I beg your pardon. My mama would be very upset thinking that somebody called me an AI-generated thing. I am a real person. Watch. Ow. I pinched myself. Ow. I am a real person, guys. One guy says, you never put your face out any place. I go, yeah, I do all the time. My face is out here all the time. And so maybe what I'll do is, and I'm going to do this, I'm probably going to do this. I'm going to put my face up on, instead of our logo, I'll put my face up, guys. So people will actually see me even more. Because some people seem to think that I should put my face out there more, okay? Once again, folks, you can check us out on all these social media sites, and we're going to start offering logo gear. Yeah, we're going to start getting some merch out there, some logo gear, and it's going to be very similar. Can we put that up there, guys? Can you? Let's go to the other one. There we go. So our where's it at? It's over here. We're going to start putting our merch up, guys. I'll start wearing it, probably next week because we were waiting for some of the stuff to get in. I'll start wearing some merch. And if you would like to buy it, folks, we'll put it up on our website and we'll make it really economical. It's American made, so that's really important to us, but we'll start getting that out, okay? So let's talk about Zohran Mamdani, guys. Excuse me. Cough one more time. Like I said, I'm getting a cold here, folks, and I hope it doesn't get too bad because I don't like colds at all. So Zohran Mamdani, folks, there was an article that was up just the last couple of days. So what happened? Zohran Mamdani got into office, and what he told everybody, and you guys know he's a DSA guy, he's a democratic socialist, which means he's a socialist, borderline communist. Let's just call him a communist. Okay, let's just do that. So he made these claims, and he said basically he's going to screw the man, he's going to screw any of these rich people, and so one of them, he instituted this thing called a pied-à-terre, okay, which means oh crap, I voted for this DSA guy, and what the tax basically is, it's if you have a second home that they're going to charge you for it. Let's say if it's $1 million home, or excuse me, $1 million condo or a $5 million house, you're going to have to pay some exorbitant sum. It's your second home. And they don't, I guess Zohran doesn't think you should be able to have this. I'm sure he doesn't want to tell Bernie Sanders that, because Bernie's got like 3 homes. And so the people in New York, they're suing him. They're suing him because their names were put out there, their names on this list. Almost 1 million people in New York have a second home. Who knew, right? I'm happy for them, but they didn't like the fact that their names and their addresses were being put out there where everybody can see it. So they got sued for it, and they're going to litigation now. And these people didn't think that it was going to happen to them, because they're libs also, and it did. And so now it is the grocery store guys. So once again, Zohran said, I'm going to bring in these government-run grocery stores. Why? Because he's an idiot. That's why. I think that's just the only reason why. Why grocery stores? Okay. I guess he's got a problem with broccoli. Cheap bananas. I don't know. Whatever his problem is, he's got a problem with grocery stores. And he thinks that these grocery stores are these rich millionaire, billionaire, oligarchs that are screwing the masses. So Zohran says, I'm going to open up government-run stores, and get this, guys. I think one of his stores is going to cost like $80 million. What? $80 million? I choked on that already. It's like choking on I don't know. So the problem with it is they're government owned, they're government run, and which means you and I are paying for it, the taxpayers are paying for it, and they're going to undercut the mom and pop stores that are in that locale. And in this one case, the store that they're going to put in, which is not going to be up till like 2029 or whatever, is right across the street from the competition. This guy's had a store there for 25 years. Dear Lord. But guy can barely speak English. He comes there. Guess what? He's right off the boat, guys. This was a true American story. True American rags to riches story. This guy probably put together all of his money, him and his family. They buy this crappy little corner lot or whatever, and they fill it up with all the stuff that they think that people in that neighborhood can want. And 25 years later, he is still there. Still there. Until Zohran the Destroyer gets there, of course. So Zohran's going to put a store there that is going to sell stuff 30% less. Now, I want you to understand something about business, guys, and this is big, okay? Is in business, it is the margins that you make on profit, okay? How much you make on profit after you buy your goods, pay your rent, insurance, all those other things, and those taxes that the government puts on you, and you pay your employees, of course, because you're such a rich, generous. It reminds me of who I was, right? You're this rich, generous store owner. Your profit on it is like 5%. Okay? 5% if you're lucky. Okay? If you're lucky, you might make 6%, 7%. Okay? You don't have the margins to keep lowering your prices. That's why store owners don't lower their prices, they just stop carrying the product. Okay, if they have to sell something for 30% less, it's gone. Okay, that's not going to happen. Okay, I know. I own my own restaurant. Okay, so take it from somebody with experience. Zoran has never owned or run anything because he would have known that doing something like that it's unimaginable. You're basically telling people, I'm going to run you out of business. So what are these store owners going to do? They're suing them. Yeah, there's now the store owners got together, a bunch of these guys, because they got all these little, store owners. They got together and they're suing him again. That, you know what? He deserves it. They ought to sue him personally, okay? And say, hey, Zoran, you're trying to put us out of business. We're going to put you out of business too. And they ought to sue the city of New York for bad faith and everything else, because you cannot. I don't know. I wish I was a lawyer. I wish I could figure out how to sue them, something like that. But that's what they're basically doing, guys. And this is crazy that you would have to go to this point to be fair. Now, this is what the problem with these Democrat socialists are. Most of these guys are in their 30s. They've never owned a business. They've never lived under socialism. They've never had to write the back of they've never had to sign the front of a check. That's the guy who gives the money out. They've all signed the back of a check where they're cashing it, but they've never had to sign the front of a check. And now, these people in New York are having buyer's remorse. I can guarantee you, they're having buyer's remorse. They're thinking, what did we do? We let this stupid kid come in there because he does TikTok videos. And because he's a rap guy, okay? He does rap, okay? Screw that. Now this is what I'm thinking they should do, okay? Just me. Okay, this is just me, folks. I think they ought to get a recall on Zoran Mamdani before New York is run to the ground. It's there. He's going to run this thing straight to the ground, and it's all preventable, and it can be stopped, guys. The people in New York can do this. Okay, let's take a really quick break, folks. When we come back, last segment here, we're going to talk a little bit about Abdul Rahman, or whatever his name is. El Sayed, he's another piece of work, folks, and he's said some weird stuff. You have got to hear, folks. This is Sherman Ray. This is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. We'll be back in just a second. All right, folks, we are back to Sherman Ray. This is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Thank you so much. And I want to thank you folks for bearing with me. I think I'm just getting a cold. I just started getting it over the weekend. Matter of fact, it might be some stuff in the air. I don't know, but I'm not good. So I'm made it almost through the show. Hopefully you guys will stick around with me. Just a couple more minutes, guys. So something happened a couple of years ago, as a matter of fact. There's this guy named Abdul. We just call him Abdul. Abdul El Sayed, and he's running for the Senate up in, I think it's in Michigan. And he was caught on tape doing a thing, I don't know, it was a couple of years ago, as a matter of fact. And there was a lady who had a question about terrorism and people who are attacking America. And I hope you can hear this, guys, because I'm going to try to turn this up because something happened with my stuff here. I wish I could have the video up, but I'm going to try to, hopefully you can hear this. So this is what Abdul said when the lady was talking about terrorism and what you could do about it if you made it into office. And so this is what his answer was to him. This is Abdul El Sayed and his answer to what this lady said about what he could do about terrorism. Here you go. Go for it. No.
I think obviously we have a responsibility to protect people in our country and as much as we can protect folks abroad. I think the approach that we've often taken to terrorism has been to figure out how to leverage the might of the U.S. military to go in and root out, right, certain terrorist organizations, etc. And where that's necessary, that's necessary. But I also think we need to be curious about why those things happen in the first place. Like, what drives somebody to want to commit such a heinous act? And I have to be a student of people's pain. Like, that's what I did in medicine. That's what I try to do in politics. Like, what happens when people are in pain? And I think that part of what we have to understand is that sometimes when we move, we create so much collateral damage because too often we have been on the wrong side of our own policies.
Okay, I hope you got that. And if you didn't, here I'm gonna give you a little bit of something what he said. He basically said that it's America's fault that terrorism happens in the first place. Because he said it was very slick about this. One, he told a lie at first. He goes, you know what? And he kind of misled people. So he says his official title is Dr. Abdul El Sayed. Okay? He has never practiced medicine. He's never even taken the boards as far as I know. Okay, so he's never actually been a doctor. He went to school to be a doctor, but he's actually never been a doctor. Okay, so that's the first thing. Number two is that the question was, what are you going to do about terrorism? What can you do about it? And he said something very slick, and he goes, well, you know, we always see terrorists, and yes, it's bad and it's wrong, but then we've got to start thinking, because I'm curious, what did we do that made people become terrorists in the first place? Because generally, we're on the wrong side of policies, and so people kill other people because of us, basically is what he's saying. I'm infuriated by this guy. I'm just so infuriated by this guy that I cannot see straight. The people who he advocates for, okay, they're Hamas, okay, they're the Muslim Brotherhood, okay, they're terrorists. That's who this guy advocates for. He practices Sharia law in his own home, okay? He doesn't practice the American way of living. He practices Sharia law in his home, and now he wants to represent you and I in America and bring this crap with him to Washington, D.C. And what makes it even worse is he believes that we are at fault for Hamas and all these other terrorist a-holes for acting the way they do. Let me tell you something, Mr. Abdullah, whatever your name is. The people in the Middle East have been evil before we were ever on this planet. Before America was ever anything, there were terrorist, evil Muslims in the Middle East. Our first battle as a country, okay? And I think you ought to, we'll run along, okay? Our first battle, okay, remember the Barbary pirates thing, guys? Okay, that was against the Middle East. That was our first battle that George Washington had to deal with because these pirates, these Muslim pirates, knew we were a Christian nation and they wanted to take us, either take our goods or take us as captives when we were trying to do trade in that area of the world. So don't give me any crap about us being, us at fault for what's going on in the Middle East, okay? You guys have been a-holes for years, okay? You've been a-holes since oh gosh, I'm forgetting my Bible now, okay? You've been that way since the Old Testament, and that was way long before America ever came about. This guy... Folks, Mike Rogers has got to beat this guy in this upcoming election because we cannot allow these just twisted people to get into office. There's no way. They have a twisted sense of reality. And we cannot allow this to happen, guys. Okay, anyways, we're going to run along, and I can't run along anymore. I got to go take an aspirin. Okay. Anyways, folks, so the next time we get a show up here, folks, which will probably be tomorrow, we'll have some merch up, guys. We'll let you know where you can buy it at. We're really excited about this, guys. We really are, because we've never sold any merchandise. Once again, I want to thank you all for joining us on our Facebook page. This is fantastic. I really did not know that we passed over 8,000 people, and we want to do the same thing on our YouTube channel. So we're going to do a lot more posts on our YouTube channel, because evidently people are starting to dig it. Anyways, this has been Sherman Ray for the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Thank you guys for doing what you do. We will see you again tomorrow. You can check us out on our website at thenevadaconservative.com. You can email me at thenevadaconservative at gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, all those places, okay? Anyways, it's been Sherman Ray. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.